What would happen if you gave yourself 14 days, opened a brand new Fiverr account, and tried to make money using nothing but AI tools?
No experience.
No portfolio.
No clients.
Just AI and 2 weeks on the clock.
Because if you watch YouTube long enough, you'll hear people say things like, AI can start freelancing businesses overnight. But is that actually true?
So instead of just believing the hype, I decided to test it myself. For the next 14 days, I used AI tools like ChatGPT to create services, write gig descriptions, generate content, and deliver work on Fiverr.
Some ideas didn't work at all. One service started gaining traction unexpectedly, and by the end of the experiment, the results revealed something about freelancing that most beginners completely miss.
So here's exactly what happened.
The first challenge was obvious. A brand new Fiverr account has no reviews, no ratings, and no trust. And on Fiverr, trust is everything.
Most buyers naturally choose freelancers who already have dozens or even hundreds of positive reviews. That means a new seller starts at a serious disadvantage.
So instead of competing directly with experienced freelancers, I used ChatGPT to help me identify simple services with lower competition. After researching Fiverr categories and trending services, I created 3 beginner-friendly gigs.
The first gig offered AI-assisted blog writing.
The second offered product descriptions for online stores. The third offered short social media captions for businesses. Each gig included examples generated with ChatGPT, but I edited them to make sure the text sounded natural and human. However, there was another important factor that could determine whether anyone would place an order: pricing. When you're new on Fiverr, the goal isn't maximizing profit. The real goal is getting the first review. Reviews build trust, and trust leads to more orders. So I priced my services lower than most competitors. For example, while many writers charged $20 to $50 for short articles, I offered a basic blog post for $5. This made the gig more attractive to buyers who wanted quick, inexpensive work.
But here's where AI made the strategy possible.
Because ChatGPT could generate a structured draft quickly, completing an order only took about 10 to 15 minutes. That meant even small orders were still worth the time.
For the first few days, though, nothing happened.
No orders.
No messages.
No activity. And that's when I realized something important. Posting gigs on Fiverr isn't enough. You also need to make sure people can actually find them.
Fiverr works very similarly to a search engine. If your gig doesn't include the right keywords, buyers will never see it in search results. So I asked ChatGPT to help optimize my gig titles, descriptions, and keywords. Instead of generic titles like "I will write blog posts," I updated them to focus on specific problems buyers might be searching for. For example, one title became something like, "I will write SEO-friendly blog posts using AI tools."
Another focused on helping online stores by offering product descriptions designed to increase sales.
The descriptions were also improved to clearly explain what buyers would receive and how the service would help them. Within a couple of days, something interesting happened. The gigs started getting impressions. That meant people were finally seeing them in search results.
But views alone don't guarantee orders. The next challenge was convincing people to actually click on the gigs. One thing many beginners overlook on Fiverr is the importance of gig thumbnails. Your gig image works like a YouTube thumbnail. It needs to instantly communicate what the service offers. So I created simple images highlighting key benefits like fast delivery, AI-assisted writing, and SEO-friendly content.
The goal was simple: make the gig easy to understand within a few seconds.
Once the thumbnails were improved, the click-through rate started increasing.
And finally, on day 5, the first order appeared.
It wasn't a big order. A small online store owner needed 5 product descriptions.
Total payment, $10. Not exactly life-changing money, but it proved something extremely important. The system worked. I used ChatGPT to generate structured product descriptions, then edited them slightly to make them sound more natural and persuasive.
The entire task took around 20 minutes. After delivering the work, something even more valuable happened. The buyer left a 5-star review. And that changed everything. Reviews act as social proof on Fiverr. Once buyers see positive feedback, they feel much more confident placing an order. After that first review, the gigs started gaining a bit more attention. Another order appeared for blog writing.
Then another request came in for social media captions.
None of the orders were huge, but they were becoming more consistent. By the end of the first week, the total earnings reached about $65. Now here's where AI really made a difference. Without AI, writing multiple articles and captions manually could have taken several hours each day. But with ChatGPT generating structured drafts, the work became much faster. Instead of starting from a blank page, I could start with a complete outline and refine it. This meant I could handle more orders without spending an entire day writing. During the second week, I started creating small workflows to make the process even faster. For example, when writing blog posts, I asked ChatGPT to generate an article outline first. Then it created sections for each part of the article. After that, I edited the text, improved the wording, and delivered the final version to the client. A blog post that might normally take 2 hours could now be completed in around 30 minutes. This made it possible to fulfill multiple orders more efficiently. And slowly, the number of incoming orders started increasing. By the end of the full 14 days, I added up all the results. Several blog writing gigs were completed. A few product description orders were delivered. And multiple social media caption requests came through. The total income reached approximately $182. Now that number might not sound huge at first,
But it's important to remember something.
this was a completely new Fiverr account with 0 experience, running for only 2 weeks. The account was just starting to gain visibility in search results. The positive reviews were building credibility, and a few buyers had already asked about future work, which means the real growth would likely happen after the first month, not during the first 2 weeks. And that leads to the biggest lesson from this experiment. AI didn't magically create a freelancing business overnight, but it dramatically reduced the time, effort, and skill barrier needed to start. Instead of struggling with ideas or staring at an empty page, AI helped generate drafts, outlines, and workflows that saved hours of effort. In other words, AI doesn't replace freelancers. It gives beginners a powerful head start. If you found this experiment helpful, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to see something even more interesting, check out the next video where I test whether AI side hustles can realistically make $1,000 per month, because the results might surprise you.